Hey everybody, it's your boy Aege. Apologies for the lack of uploads this week. I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm good now, and I'm here to talk about some more Monster Hunter Worlds. During TGS last weekend, they had a live stream that showed off a bit more of the opening story for the game. And as somebody who's really excited about the aspect of more story in a Monster Hunter title this time around, the opening cinematic slash gameplay was something I really wanted to talk about during the week. So I guess without wasting too much time, we should just dive right into it. So the opening scene kicks off with the explanation that you're part of the 5th fleet of a research division tasked with setting off on an expedition to explore a new continent. If all the other Monster Hunter games were connected lore-wise, if they were on the same continent or not, but here you're on some new continent and there's some shit going down. After that brief setup, we get a sweeping shot of what seems to be a dining hall where you and many other hunters reside during this expedition to the new continent. There you're greeted by a rowdy fellow hunter and his handler. One thing in Monster Hunter World that's different compared to other Monster Hunters, I guess, when you're sent off to do other missions and other tasks, every hunter's partnered with a handler that gives you mission details, tips, cooks the food for you just in case you forgot to eat before setting off, and possibly more that we don't know about. So from a gameplay perspective, they seem to really be just an enhancement of a quality of life while playing, just making your time while playing more streamlined and cohesive while out in the field, I guess. After chatting it up with this hunter and his handler, they ask for your name, which is a clever setup for character customization and palco customization. Unlike previous Monster Hunter games, there's tons of new options. You can change your jawline, add face tattoos, but the catch is you can only change your face like normal. Because of course, as a hunter you gotta stay fit, and I think the armors that you wear change your body type, so there's that. But customization looks a lot more in depth this time around, so I'm always down for some good character customization. Once you're done customizing your character and your palico, they are implemented seamlessly into the cutscene, which is dope. It's not something that's like new nowadays with most modern games, but it's still dope to see you just pop in there like, hey, what's up? Though after a little bit of chit chatter, the hunter and handler from before inform me that it's been 40 years since the first fleet discovered this new continent, and since then every hunter has been paired with a handler while out in the field like I said before. This segues into us meeting our handler, which we've seen a whole bunch of times in various Monster Hunter World gameplay. It doesn't seem like this is the first time our character actually meets the handler because it doesn't seem much of like an introduction type of conversation. In a short exchange, she basically tells you that they're coming close to arriving on this new continent, but the conversation is cut off short when the ship begins to shake, shifting and tossing hunters, handlers, and most importantly the food all over the place. That shit look good too. Damn. As all the commotion continues, our hunter and handler rush off to the deck of the ship, where we see a large protrusion appear out of the water, tipping over the ship and other ships in the fleet. This is where the pace picks up during this opening. Alright, let's just halt right here real quick. So this large thing coming out of the water is definitely not a monster, okay you guys? Just pretend to believe that until the end of this opening scene, for continuity's sake. Because if you've been keeping up with this game, you definitely don't know what this is, and that's not sarcasm. Definitely not sarcasm. Now as your ship tips over even more, you and your handler are knocked off onto the strange mysterious landmass, and from there the cutscene seamlessly transitions into the opening gameplay, as you and your handler search for a way to safety. This whole next part serves as a clever way to get you accustomed to the new mechanics introduced in Monster Hunter World, a glorified tutorial if you will, but it's still an awesome set piece due to all the shifts in the environment because the land around you continues to rise out of the water. After a few minutes of working your way up to the top of the landmass, you're put in a pretty cool set piece where the hunter slides down the top of the landmass just to get tossed into the air with your handler, but recovers while using the slinger tool to hook onto a wing drake while saving the handler, thus flying off into the sunset. But not without the biggest plot twist since The Sixth Sense. We find out that the large protrusion was not just some weird landmass, but a monster. Oh my god. What? I can't believe it. Jokes aside, the intro ends with you and your handler crash landing into the ancient forest that we've of course seen in many gameplays, and that's pretty much it. This was a pretty cool intro to the game. We got some slight backstory slash setup, a dope opening slash tutorial gameplay scene, and a glimpse of what probably is the most important Elder Dragon story wise for the game. All in all, I'm digging that Capcom's putting a bit more emphasis on story this time around. It'll get a lot more people interested in worlds, and it just makes things feel a lot more high stakes, you know? Not that the games prior to this were lacking in any way because of their lack of story. I'm just glad that there's a narrative tying into whatever we're doing on this new continent. Like I said, making everything feel a lot more grand than it actually is. And I hope that we get a lot more of what happened during this intro sprinkled throughout the game itself. I hope this is not just like a one-time cinematic occurrence. Only thing I really wish that we got a bit more of was some character details, maybe some interactions between you and some other characters while on the boat, but it is what it is. Though there is some information on supporting characters that I think I'll save for the next Monster Hunter video, where I'll be covering even more backstory, the flagship monster along with the Elder Dragon, and of course, like I said, the supporting characters. But until then, drop your boy a like or even a sub if you dig the video, and I'll catch you dudes in the next one. Stay golden. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you look right above me, you can see 2 of my previous videos. So, if you feel like supporting your boy, feel free to check them out. It's okay, take your time. I'll just be right here when you're ready to watch them.